Hello, Thaddeus, and Vicky, who is also in China. I hope your Christmas and New Year's went well. Mine went pretty good, but most importantly, I now have the lovely new camera that you can't see, so I can now record in 1080p. So join me on a journey around the apartment.
Well, it's gonna be the future soon, and I won't always be this way. When the things that make me weak and strange get engineered away.
Behind me here is where the magic happens. And this is probably going to be the only video that I do in 1080p because, let's face it, if you're on YouTube, that little circle, circle, that's clearly the shape I'm making and clearly the shape videos come in on YouTube. That square rectangular thing there, if you're viewing it in just the little rectangle, you probably have no need to be watching it in 1080p. And even if you're going full screen, to be watching things in 1080p, you have to have a decent enough internet connection to load that. But also, you have to care enough about what you're watching to want to do that. Unless you're watching like a movie or something that's really going to benefit from high-definition television, I don't see why you would bother with it. And the load times on 1080p to just render it are kind of long, and to upload it to YouTube off of my internet connection are a little bit strenuous. So, unless there's some sort of huge clamor for me to upload videos in 1080p, I'm just not going to do that, and I'll probably stick with a lower resolution high def. Welcome to the living room. Now, in your last video, you were playing the video game, and you were talking over it, and you had some problems with the sound of the video game overpowering the sound of your voice. So I went ahead and played around with Fraps to see if there was any sort of option that you could adjust that would give you two soundtracks out of that, one for your input, one for the game. And I don't think there is any sort of option to do that. But what you can do, however, is instead of adjusting and playing around with the sound of every video game you play so that your input will be louder than that, you can download Audacity. It's free, it's a sound recording software. There's also a plugin to be able to save things in MP3, though depending on your video editor, you probably don't need to do that. The standard files probably work. I just have that plugin because I find it easier to use MP3 for what I'm doing. And then you can plug that into your video editing software, and you can adjust the different levels of the two soundtracks so that your voice will naturally overpower the video game. And it shouldn't be that hard to do because when you hit F9 on Fraps or whatever your button is to start recording, you can then just yell out mark or start or something like that that will easily allow you to, this is where the sound file starts, so I can link it to the video. And I think that should work pretty well for what you're trying to do. Speaking of which, in playing around with this, I did make a recording of me playing Awesome Knots. You can find that up over on my own personal channel. It's not very good. There's a lot of dead space, pausing, things that just aren't very good, and I didn't do a very good job of commentating because I was trying to just play around and see what was going on. In the future, I'm going to try different ways of recording commentary and maybe different editing styles to make those videos a bit better. And I'm still planning on doing the Arcanum playthrough, but when it comes to me just playing video games, I'm going to throw those up on my own personal channel so that people who are just interested in the guides for the future conversations can see those in this channel here that I'm talking to you now live on right now. Video games, those are going on my own personal channel. Videos like this, going on Guides from the Future channel. There's now a link over there or there, one of these two directions, to my own personal channel. It's under the featured channels. It'll be under the Time Has Exploded, which is Thad's channel, which he still has not uploaded another single video to. Welcome to the kitchen. That really obnoxious sound you're probably hearing right now is the sound of the dishwasher because I am staying on top of that crap today. I didn't make any New Year's resolutions this year or last year or the year before that because I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions because, let's face it, if you're going to make New Year's resolutions, you could make them any time of the year. It's just something about yourself that you want to change. Hi, kitty. Meow. It's just something that you personally feel your life would be better off if you were doing. And you don't need a New Year's resolution in order to change that part about your life. The reality of the situation is, if you really wanted to do that, you would go ahead and do that. But because you're not doing that, you probably don't have the urge to actually do that. It's a motivation issue, and saying, oh, in the new year I'm going to change and do this, it's probably not actually going to happen because you didn't have the motivation before the new year. You probably aren't going to have the motivation after the new year. And quite frankly, the New Year's resolution idea, to me, seems to be part of the weight loss industry propaganda in order to make you feel bad about your body image. Because let's face it, it's the perfect time of year for you to go out and buy new exercise equipment to get off your butt and lose those pounds that you've always been wanting to lose. Because look at you, you fat-ass slob, sitting on the couch, not doing anything, watching TV. Wouldn't your life be grander if you looked like this bikini model? Or this dude that's 40 and has absolutely ripped abs? Wouldn't that be great? Buy a treadmill! Or these weight loss diet pills? Or this sort of pre-made meals that I guarantee you taste like crap.
And this is my reading chair, which leaves me one thing to say before I go. Reserving judgments is a matter of infinite hope. Thaddeus, I will see you in the future.